around right now, which I'm sure most of you can relate to. So for me, it's a time to sort of reflect a little bit to where I want to be in my life. And the asana practice helps me. If you're noticing that your mind is sort of scattered around you, if you can be that sun to pull it in with gravity, pull the thoughts back. Almost like moons around the earth. You are the gravity. And when you have control of your thoughts, just start feeling the breath. And gently you start taking deeper breaths. And eventually transition to the Ujjayi Pranayama. As you're sealing the lips, breathing in and out through the nose. Find that light contraction at the back of the throat. Engage the pelvic floor in Mula Bandha. Draw the navel to the spine, Udayana Bandha. Bring the awareness to your sit bones. Feeling the earth grounding underneath you. Yet you're feeling the energy rising up through the crown of the head. And make your eyes open and transition to the downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Spread your fingers wide. You can walk your feet out a couple of times, awakening the back spine of your legs, calf, hamstrings. And press firmly into your hands. Press out through the shoulders, lifting your hips nice and high. If you can, rotate the tailbone up as the heels are reaching down. Relax your neck and shoulder. You can consider this at home base. Listen to the breath. Lift your heels, walk your feet forward, coming into a forward fold at the top of the mat. Just be heavy here. Shake your head. Maybe nod. Bend firmly into the knees and let your belly rest onto the thigh. Your arms and shoulders, you can wiggle them around a little bit, you be heavy. And now you start rolling. And you stay here and make circles with your arms, circling the opposite direction. Pull the navel back in as you're rolling nice and Slow coming all the way up into Samastitihi. Toes points forwards, hips are neutral, and again you start feeling this lift. And the palms by your side, facing forward. Listen back into the breath. Maybe setting an intention for your practice. Something very simple could be as just listen to the breath, as could be the nice mantra. Surya Namaskar. Inhale, reach your arms up and over, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Plant your hands, step your feet into high plank. Shoulders over wrist, hips are neutral, pull the belly back in, legs start firm. And this first one, exhale, lower down all the way down to the belly. Untuck the toes, inhale, lift up. Press the pubic bone in, heart moves forward for cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise up, big toes together, shifting to child's pose for a moment. Let your hips sway from side to side. One more. Rise up, return to downward facing dog. 2 more breaths. Slowly awakening. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands by your side, Samastitihi. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your hand, high plank, Chaturanga Dandasana at this time, lower down halfway. Inhale, press the mat away from you, come to the tops of the feet. Exhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog. We breathe 5 breaths. Exhale for 1. Lift your hips higher. Exhale for 2. Pull the low ribs in. Exhale for 3. Exhale for 4. Exhale for 5. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, float your feet forward or you step. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, hands by your side. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Breathe. Pay attention to where the mind is taking you. 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Lift the heels, bend your knees, float your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands by your side. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, Chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. 1. 2. 3. 4, and 5. Inhale, lift the heels, bend your knees, float forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, comb all the way up. Samastiti. One last time. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift the heel, make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Samastiti. Big toes together. Have a little gap between your heels. Surya Namaskar. We're just going to take it traditional. The only exception is that we're coming down to down dog. We're taking our 5 breaths. Bend the knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, Chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Left heel down, warrior 1, right foot comes forward, breath takes you up. Exhale, Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing, left foot forward. Inhale, come up. Exhale, Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Come down to the forearms. You can take the knees down if you prefer. Spread your fingers wide. Keep your feet hip width apart, toes points forward. Now press into the forearms, shifting the heart to the toes, heels reaching back, lift your kneecaps, belly in. Listen to the breath again. 1, 2, 'Try to relax the neck. 3, 4, keep pulling the lower ribs in, Udayana Bandha. And 5, come back up onto your hands. Lift the heels, bend your knees, step forward. Inhale, half. Exhale, bow. Bend the knees, inhale, chair. Samastiti. Bend the knees, inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing, warrior 1. Exhale, Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing, warrior 1, left foot. Exhale, Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Make your way back to your forearms. Breathe. 1, 2, 3,
Fine, come back up onto your hands. Lift the heels, bend your knees, float your feet forward. Inhale, half. Exhale, bow. Bend the knees, inhale. Utkatasana. Samastiti. Bend the knees, inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, Chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha, Warrior One. Exhale, Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing, Warrior One, left foot. Exhale, Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Come down to your forearms. Another 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Come back up onto your hands. Lift the heels, bend your knees, step forward. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, inhale, Utkatasana. Samastiti. I believe we have one more. Bend the knees, inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, Chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Right foot forward, inhale, rise. Exhale, hand comes down, Chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Left foot forward, inhale, come up. Exhale, Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Now come back down to your forearms. 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Come back up onto your hands. Take a breath in. Open mouth, let it go. Come back to the Ujjayi breath. Take that moment. Check back in with the intention. See if you're staying true to it, whatever it might be. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to the chest. Step your foot through between your hands. Lower your left knee down. Anjaneyasana. You're just going to stay here for a moment. Try to roll that left hip down, right hip back. Just stay here. Just feel how you start opening into the left side. Maybe you start pressing into the top of your left foot, lifting your knee off the mat. See how it feels. Take the knee down, shift back, half split. Pull the knee back. Try to keep the sides of your body as long as possible. And if you think of it, flex your toe and then move the heart to the toe. So you sort of pulling the shoulder blades back, dig your heel in to get this nice stretch, not only in your calf and hamstring, maybe through the glute and low back. And then inhale, come forward, knees over the ankles. Come back into Anjaneyasana again. Take the hands up. You can take the left hand to the hip. All right, so you're just sort of making sure that your hips are fairly even. You You can take your hands to the low ribs and really feel them in. And then bring your hands up by the ears. Start lifting through the heart, reach back. One more. Shift back, half split, one more time. This time, turn your toe to the right. Take your hands, walk them over your leg, pull your hip back, and then fold as much as you can. You should feel this more in the other part of your hip, the IT band. And then come back to center, shift forward, bring your arms up by the ears, coming back into Asana. Interlace your hands behind your back, roll your shoulders open, lift the chest. And then release. Frame your foot, tuck your toe, lift your left knee, right leg up and back. Ooh. And then lower your foot down. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to the chest. Step your foot through between your hands and then lower your right knee down. Knees over the ankle, we stay here. We're just rolling the right hip a little bit to the right. Pay attention to where you feel the sensation. See if you can send the breath there. So you may stay here. Press into the top of the right foot. Leg is strong. Even deeper into the hip flexor. Knee comes down, shift back, half split. And over the front leg. Inhale, come forward, bring your arms up by the ears. Vinyasa. Again, you can take the right hand to the hip if that helps, just so you sort of settle in to your low ribs. Reach up. Relax the shoulders. Feeling the grounding in your left foot, draw left hip back. Take your hands down, shift back, half split. Now this time, left toe turns out, walk your hands over the leg. Pull your hip back. And fold. One more. Inhale, lift, frame your foot, shift back forward. Bring your arms up by the ears. Exhale, interlace. Now this thumb is on the other top. Roll your shoulders open and then draw your hands back. Lift the chest. And then release. Frame your foot, tuck your toe, lift your right knee, left leg up and back, and stay here. Lower your foot down. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, big toes together, bend the knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Neutralize your hips, palms together, gaze up. We breathe. 5, squeeze into the midline. 4, 3, relax the shoulders. 2, and 1, come to standing Samastiti. Keep your feet hip width apart. Hands to the hips. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, fold. Take your hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Plant your right hand underneath the shoulder and really make sure the entire palm is planted. Bend your right knee, press into the ball of your left foot. Draw the left hip back. Now start spinning the chest open. Make sure the right knee points forward. And then float that left hand up. For 5, 4, 3, belly in, 2, and 1. Now switch. Left hand under your shoulder, bend the knee, plant that right big toe in, right hip back, and start spinning the chest open. Open up your arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower your hand down, inhale, lift and lengthen. You can take Padahastasana if you prefer, hands under your feet, and then shift forward. Or if you want a deeper forward fold, you will take your right arm around your right thigh or calf. Take your hand onto your left shin, and then your left arm around your left calf, and hold on to the right shin. From here, you lift and lengthen, belly in, drop the crown of the head forward, shift weight into the balls of the feet, and then you squeeze in, squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wherever you hold on to, wherever your hands are released, take them underneath the shoulders. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, rise all the way. Samastiti. Good. Bring your feet together. Bend the knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to your heart. Left elbow hooks outside your right knee. Try to get your knee as high up into the tricep, the armpit. Left knee draws back and sit down before you even go anywhere. Take the hands to prayer. Now inhale, lengthening forward, belly in, so you create that space, and you start twisting. You may stay here, or you can drop that left hand outside your right foot, floating the top hand up. You breathe. 5. Maybe you reach it forward. 3. Oh, sorry, 2. 3. 4. And 5. Look down. Take the hands back to heart. If you dropped your hand, shift your weight into your right foot. Be light onto the left foot, and then step it back, coming into Parvita Ashtanga high lunge. So just settle yourself up. If you need to, you can take your knee down to get a little bit of a deeper twist. Maybe taking the hand down again if you prefer. Hand floats up, and you reach it up and over. Gaze to the fingers. Keep reaching. Left heel back. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Look down. Spin your back heel down. So you can frame your foot if you prefer. Heel touch alignment. Rise up. Warrior 2. Virabhadrasana. Sit into the front knee. Drop the left hip. Look down to make sure that the right knee turns a little bit to the right. Pull your heels together. Arms out wide. We breathe. 5. Relax the shoulders. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Straightening out your front knee, reach forward. Exhale, hinge at your hip. Take your hand down, maybe to your ankle. Wherever you find support. If you see that you're hinging sort of the way I'm standing right now, see if you can come up. And rather slide your hand up, so you're lengthening the torso over the front legs. You're getting that right hip underneath you. So you're feeling this long line to the left side, and then bring your left hand up. And then lift the chin away from the chest, slide your shoulder blade down the back. For 5. Listen to your breath. I'll go 3 more. 2, and 1. Look down, bend into the front knee. You can keep your hand where it's at. Right, so if you have your knee towards your armpits, you can use your arm to really open up the hip and then get that right hip underneath you. Legs are still strong. And then bring your left arm up and over. Gaze to the fingertips. Find your internal or external rotation in your upper arm. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your hands to the inside, pivot up onto the left toe, bring your knee down, lift your pose or heel toe your foot out to the side. The knee is in the same direction as your toe, shift your hip forwards. You should feel something into that right inner thigh. You can take your hand onto your right thigh and you can sort of move the flesh a little bit externally. So giving yourself this little massage to the thigh. All right, plant your hands. So from here, you can just step it back and vinyasa out of it. Or if you like, you tuck your toe, lift your heel. Make sure the right toe is pointing forward. And then the right hand comes underneath. Try to wiggle your arm as high up onto the triceps. We're going to take Ekapada Kundinyasana. Extend your foot forward, bend your elbows, and then reach. And then jump back for Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, float your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bow. Bend your knees, inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to your heart, right elbow outside your left knee. Draw your right knee back, belly in, and again, wherever your hand went. Maybe it went all the way down, maybe stayed the heart, maybe it reached forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the hands back to your heart, shift your weight into the left foot. Right booty, foot comes to the booty, and you step it back, coming into Parivrtta Ashtanga. So hand can stay at heart. You can take your knee down. If you need to come down a little bit deeper, if your hand went down, take it down, lift the knee. Here we go, we reach 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Look down. You can frame your foot. Spin your back heel down, rise up, Virabhadrasana. Find the foundation. Hold your heels together. Steady gaze. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straightening your front knee, reach forward. Take the hand down again. Where you find your support, or you can lengthening over the front leg. So rather have the hand a little bit higher and reach for the floor. Open up the chest. Right hand comes up. Relax the shoulder blade down. Come back to the breath. Feel the bandhas. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend back into the front knee and then reach that top hand up and over. And twist. Take your hands down, pivot up onto the right toe, bring the knee down, coming into lizard. Toe comes out, shift forward. And again, you can take that left hand and rotate the thigh out. Really opening up into the inner thigh. Good, then come back up onto the hand. Left toe points forward, tuck the toe, lift the knees option. Again, you can just step it back, vinyasa out and chill. Or the hand comes under, plant the hand. Right, you have the bend into the elbow, come up onto the tippy toe. You can use your right elbow to the right hip as a little like stacking motion, or you're floating the right hand. Come forward, lean forward, here we are. And jump back, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your knees down. Keep your knees over your hips, walk your hands forward. If your shoulders are tight, bring your hands as wider than shoulder width. And then sink your chest down, maybe your forehead, wherever you can maintain the breath. Belly back in. And then slowly start making your way back. Take a seat onto your shins. Up tall. Shoulders over your hips. Close your eyes. Check in with that in the gaze with the thought. Noticing if the little planets or thoughts are sort of spread around again and it's all just scattered around you. See if you can pull it in as you being that the planet. Thoughts are the moons. You come back, you control them. And open up your eyes, come back to all fours. So taking another puppy pose, we're going to take another variation if you want to, obviously. Walk your hands forward, take the chest down. If your chest is down and you're looking between your hands, so not this, chest all the way down. If you are down, maybe you tuck your toes and lift your knees. Take the knees down, lock your hands back, child's pose. And the breath between the shoulder blades. No, more breath. One deep breath. And then come up and take a seat onto your heels. Yeah, I think you can see me there. I might move the camera a little bit. So if you like, you can use a wall for this. Let me see if I can get. Right, so you see my little wall there. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So you either do this to the front. We're going to take 5 breaths. We're going to come into chair pose upside down. So if you like, from here, you're going to take your hands, come up onto the toes, and you're going to tuck up. All right. So here you are, toes to the wall. All right. Neutralize your hips, just like you were doing in chair. You squeeze it into the midline. You have the wall to catch you. 5 breaths right there. Or you're doing it onto the mat, wherever you choose to be. All right, 5 breaths, and then you
Take your feet down. You come to the top of the mat and we'll meet in Samastiti. All right, so take your time. Come to the top of the mat and fold. And roll up. And here we are. Samastiti. And then open up your arms. Take your hands behind you. And then take your fingertips. You can hold on to your wrist or your elbows. Bring your palms together. And then step your left foot back. Asana, heel to heel alignment. Hips are squared. Wherever you are, neutralize your hips. Noticing if you want to stick your butt up and have that nice arch. See if you can get rid of it. All right, you want to hinge at your hip, belly in, legs are strong. We breathe 5, 4, 3. Press your palms together. Last one. Inhale, rise all the way up. Right hand to the hip, left arm up. Parita Trikonasana. Reach forward. Take your hand down, inside, outside. You decide. Draw the hip back. Float that right hand up. Make sure you're running into the right big toe. Take your hands down to frame your foot. Step your left foot next to your right. So option here, please fingers around your right big toe. As you're bending into the right knee, take the right hand to the hips. You look like this. You're going to rise up. Utthita Hasta Pandagustasana. Or you're going to come up, bring your knee into the chest. You can use the strap here. You can stay there and you just extend your foot out. Drop the hip down. Belly in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now bend your knee, bring it into the chest. You're either going to cross your shin over and take a figure 4, getting a little bit deeper into the hip, or you're going to take, I'm going to turn around, you're going to grab your foot, right? You're going to bring it up, 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 up. Bring your heel towards your navel, right? So the foot lands in that left hip crease, right? So you're here. And you're going to wrap your right arm around, hold on to the toes. You can use a strap. If you can't reach, that's okay. So Ardha Baddha Padmottanasana with figure 4. So you either sit down, bring your left hand up, and then exhale, fold if you're in the pose, and fold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come all the way up. 2. And then release your foot out, and then come back. Here we are in Samastiti. Take a moment. Checking where you're at. And then open up your arms. Again, come back into that reverse namaste, or however you chose to keep your hands. And then step your right foot back, heel to arch alignment. Arching, get it out. Lift up, exhale, fold, squeeze your palms together, heart is broad. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, rise. Left hand to the hip, right arm comes up. Hinge at your hips,
And then take your hand down. Inside, outside, it can be onto the foot. And then inhale, lengthening. Exhale, you start twisting. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Take your hands down. Step your right foot next to your left. Now you either come up into a Theta Hasta Pandagustasana, or you take your left fingers, your left fingers around your left big toe, and inhale, rise. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knees. So again, figure 4, or you're going to take your foot, hold it on so the knee comes out, and bring the foot up towards your navel so the foot lands in the hip crease. And then your left arm comes around. And you can use your strap there. Bring your right hand up, either down or you fold forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come all the way up. Let go of your left foot, extend it out in front of you, and then come in to Samastiti. So if you like, you're going to come back to the wall again. You're going to take a handstand, right? You're going to hold it for 5 breaths up against the wall. When you come up into your handstands, try to, instead of I'm going to see if you can see. Sometimes when we come up, we look like this, all right? We're going to try, almost like we do when we in Samastiti. You ground through the feet and you feel this energy lifting. So your hips becomes neutral, the navel pulls back in. All right, so if you take your hands up, right, you're going to press out through the shoulders. You pull them back down. So instead of having the shoulders by theirs, so you have to be strong and broad, and your fingers have to be strong. This is like your driving wheel. So when you come forward, you're pressing into the fingertips. If you start falling back, you're pressing to the heels of your hands. Right? So you can do this either up against the wall or in the middle of the room. But really focusing on have this neutral hips and this lift. Always talking about the bandhas. So now instead of you rooting from the feet and the energy comes up, it's the hands, the energy is still rising. Okay? So here we go. And then Chaturanga Dandasana if you're on the mat, otherwise step it back and take a vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to the chest, step your foot through, and then lower your knee down. Good. Now from here, shift back. If you have a pillow, you can use it. You can also use the block. Right, and then start sliding the right foot forward. Keep your hips nice and square. So see how I'm taking the block down to my thigh. You can have 2 blocks here. But peek back to make sure that the right foot or left foot comes straight out of the left or out of the hip. So you may stay here. I'm still battling that bad hamstring strain. Taking it easy. Bring your arms up. then sort of slide your foot back, make your way back into three-legged dog. So just lift your left leg up and back for a moment. And bend your knee back. Take your foot down, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to the chest, step it through. And then lower your knee down, shift back. Here we go. Hanuman. So again, you can slide something underneath that left thigh. Just make sure that the foot comes straight out. So the top of the foot is to the mat. So imagine that you want to, as much as you can, roll the pink edge of your right foot down. Stay here. Bring your hands up. And then slide your foot back, tuck the toe, lift your left leg up and back to three-legged dog. Same thing here, just bend your knees. Come into downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into high plank. Exhale, lower to the belly. Untuck the toes. Keep your feet hip width apart, arms by the long side of the body. Inhale, lift up, Shalabhasana. Keep the neck nice and long, shoulder blades down your back. If you can, feet apart or together or hip width apart. Press the pubic bone into the mat. Now stay the way you are with your feet. Take your hands underneath the shoulders, lift up and pull yourself forward. Shalabhasana B. And then take your feet down, lift up, upward facing dog. Exhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into a high plank. Lower down to your forearms. You're going to stay here, shoulders over your elbows. Noticing if your butt want to come up a little bit. Come forward. Find the neutral hips, heels reaching back. Lift your kneecaps and then sort of broaden your heart forward, pulling your elbows back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your hips down. Sphinx pose. So we're going to find ourselves in Bekasana. So turn your left hand in, bend your right knee, take your right hand, reach for the top of the foot. So there might be a case where this is enough, right? You're just pulling your foot in. If you can, your hand comes to the arch, so the inside. Your thumb is touching the ball of your big toe. Now from here, you're going to bring your knuckles up and over. So you're rotating your arm. Be careful of your shoulder. And then bring your foot just outside your sit bone. Be mindful of the knee. Try to square yourself as much as you can forward. If you want more, lift your hand up. And then let it go. And then we're just going to do that aside. So the hand turns in just to give you that little bit of a support. Reach for your foot inside. If you can bring it in. Or the thumb is under the knuckle. You find this external rotation in your elbow. So you see how I'm bringing it up. The knuckles flips forward. So you have to be careful of your elbow. You square yourself. And then release, come down. Take the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, lift up, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Heels reaching back. Inhale, come forward into high plank. Exhale, lower down to your belly. Bend your knees, reach for your ankles at the top of the feet. If you can, feet and thighs together. If not, you keep them wide. Okay. Inhale, press the feet into the hands. Exhale, lower down. Extend your feet to the back of the mat, hands under the shoulders. Lift up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, high plank. Exhale, lower down. Bend your knees. Reach for the ankles to the top of the feet. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, let it go. Hands under the shoulders. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your right foot between your hands. And then heel toe your foot down. So take your left knee down, heel toe your foot to the left. Take your shin down. Thigh and sit bone. So just like in Hanuman, you can slide the block underneath that right hip. And trying to get the foot coming out of the hip, pressing the tops of the foot into the mat. Just staying here for a little bit. You might want to have a strap available. So we're going to start with just coming down. Try to soften. And again, take that moment. The intention, where's the thought? Bringing it back in. Be that center force. And then come onto your forearms, onto your hands. Tuck the toe, lift the knee, and then inhale. Right leg up and back. Then take your foot down and step your left foot between your hands. Take your right knee down. Heel to your foot over towards the right. Take your shin down. And then thigh and sit bone. Make sure that the hip or the foot comes out of the hip. So roll a little bit towards the left. And then you slowly come down. Ekapada Rasha Kapotasana breath. Pay attention to the different sides. Even though that you are sort of relaxed, you still sort of feel where you can send the breath if you have resistance. Noticing where you can lengthening. It's easy to let go of the bandhas when we're in the prep pose. It's so yummy. Good, and then come back up. Tuck the right toe, lift the knee, and then bring your left leg up and back. And then take your left leg. Right, and then step your right foot between your hands. Lower your left knee down. So now is when you want to have the strap available, if you want to go there. So you're going to come back into Ekapada Rasha Kapotasana. So shin, thigh, and sit bones comes down. This time, if you had your shin further out, you can bring it back in a little bit. Right, so we're going to take the full pose. Right, you can use the block in front of you if you prefer. Or you can take your hand onto the knees. You're really sitting up tall. You roll that left hip down, and then you bend your knee and you reach for the top of the foot. So you can be here doing that Vikasana, getting your foot in just for a moment, getting that nice stretch. Try to square yourself forward.
And then let it go. So you're either going to take your foot here, bring your hand up. You can bend your elbow, connect your fingertips, and then lift your gaze. Or if you want to come into the full pose, take your hand now. This time it's to the outer part of your foot, right? You hold on to the foot and you find this rotation in your shoulder. I'm sliding. I'll use my strap. You can also use a strap here on the sleeve. It's a little bit tight. And then release. Let it go. Plant your hands, tuck your toes, lift the knee, right leg up and back. And then take your foot down. Nataranja Kapotasana on your left. So again, we're just setting up, so maybe that left foot is closer to your right hip. Take your hand onto the block, and then bend your knee, and then bring your foot in, just getting that stretch. So you try to square yourself up, or you find your Bakasana, flipping the grip. And then let it go, maybe getting the foot into your elbow crease. So you'll be here, when you're connecting your fingers or your hand to the pinky edge of your foot. And then you rotate your elbow up. When you're done, you release. Plant your hands. Good. Obviously, we're going to come into the peak pose where you're finding your inner dancer. Lift your heels, walk your feet forward to the middle of the mat. And hand here. And start rolling up along your spine. Coming back into Samastiti. Good. All right. So from here, again, you've got options, always options. That's the beauty. Right? So you're going to stand with your hands onto your hips. And you're going to start balancing on your right foot. And from here, maybe you're just grabbing onto the foot. So you can have your hand on the outside, but check this out. Try to keep your knees and thighs parallel. Right? Then you're going to bring your hand out. So this is your first option, obviously, if you not want to flip the grip. So here you are, palms facing up. You start pressing the foot in, and you reach forward. And this is your inner dancer, right there. Right? If you want to, you can flip your grip and get more stretch into the shoulders. Do the same thing. Or I need to use a strap onto my left side. I take my strap around my foot. Or you take your hand, just like we did in Nataranja Kapotasana, to the pinky edge. Right? My elbow is by my hip. And here I bring my foot up and I rotate my shoulder. And then you let it go. Nice and slow. Take a moment. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So either you hold on to the foot, you can have your thumb down for less of a shoulder stretch, thumb up inside for more. All depends on where you are in your shoulders. Or maybe you use your strap or no strap, right? You have your elbow by your hip in that case. And you find the rotation in your shoulder. release, let it go. And come into a forward fold. Keep your feet hip width apart. Your hands to your elbows. Sway from side to side. Take your hands down and then lower your hips to the heels. You can take your feet maybe closer. This is the real, you know how they say, the real Mrs. So-and-so. This is the real garden pose Malasana. So again, you can use the strap. You can wrap it around. Right, and forehead down. And let it go. Come into a seat. Extend your feet out in front of you. All right, step your right foot over. You can bend your left knee. So Ardha Matsyendrasana. Take your right hand behind you. Left arm lifts. Exhale, hook your elbow. Sit up tall. Exhale, look over your right shoulder. And then release, let it go. And then we're just going to switch sides. So right foot is outside your left hip. Left foot lines up. The ankle lines up with the knee. And you take your left hand behind, arm comes up, and then hook. And you start twisting. Inhale, look forward, and then exhale, release. Bring the soles of the feet together. The outer part of your feet are connected. Sit to the front side of the sit bones, and then exhale, fold. Baddha Konasana. And then inhale, come all the way up. Bring your knees together, and then roll down onto the back. You have arrived. Extend your feet out. Draw a breath into the nose. Open mouth. Let it go. Be still. Let go of the thoughts. Go back out into the universe. Let them go wherever they take you.
the body.
Slowly awakening. Eventually come up into your seat. Sitting up tall, close your eyes. Come back to the intention. Whatever it might have been. Take your hands to your heart. Namaste. Thank you so much. Hope you have a beautiful Thursday. I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.